I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think Jose Ramirez is the most underrated player in baseball right now.
Previously, I think it was Freddie Freeman,
But after the last couple years playing in LA, I think has gotten to a point where people know who Freddie Freeman is, know how great he is, and realize that he's going to be a Hall of Famer. However, JRam plays for a small market team where he doesn't get a whole lot of national coverage compared to teams like the Dodgers, the Yankees, other big market teams. Even though Cleveland's a great team, they made it all the way to the ALCS this year. Cleveland's still a small market team. And I know people in Cleveland know how good he is, and I know there's a lot of baseball fans that realize how good he is. But I think a lot of casual baseball fans don't really get to see JRam a whole lot, and they don't really know how great he's been and how great of a season he had this year. And he just put up one of the quietest elite years that we have ever seen. This is what Jose Ramirez did this year. He hit 279, he got on base at a 335 clip, slugged 537 for an OPS of 872 and an OPS plus of 143. He hit 39 doubles, 39 home runs, and stole 41 bases. I didn't realize how little he strikes out as well. He struck out 82 times, just 82. He walked a little bit less this year compared to what he usually does, so his on base suffered a little bit, but this year he was only one home run away from the 40-40 season, and there's only been one other season where someone has gotten that close to the 40-40 season. In 2002, Alfonso Soriano put up a season where he was only one home run away from getting the 40-40, and it was a much bigger deal back then, and I think we all know why. Let's take a look at what happened around baseball the last couple years. In 2023, Ronald Acuna Jr. founded some pretty amazing clubs. He founded the 30-60 Club, 30 home runs, 60 steals, the 40-50 Club, the 40-60 Club, and the 40 home run, 70 stolen base club. So obviously the whole 40-40 thing is just not going to be as crazy now because we've seen someone surpass that, and it's not as special as it used to be. And this year, we all know what happened. Shohei Ohtani was the founder of the 50-50 Club, the 50 home runs, the 50 stolen base club, and he almost discovered the 55-55 Club. It wasn't like he just had 51 home runs and 50 stolen bases. He blew way past the 50-50 Club. 54 home runs, 59 stolen bases. He is going to win the MVP, as he should. The last 2 years have been incredible as far as setting records and breaking boundaries, seeing what's possible in baseball. So it's no wonder why no one really talked about JRam getting so close to 40-40, but it doesn't mean that it wasn't a great season just like those other 40-40 seasons. I'm actually going to take it one step further. JRam almost had the 40-40-40 season, 40 doubles, 40 homers, and 40 steals. He was one double shy as well as the one homer shy. And what sucks is that he had one game to go that got canceled due to weather. So we don't know if he would have gotten it. I'd like to think he could have, and I like to think he would have. But anyway, there are only two other seasons where someone put up at least 39 doubles, 39 homers, and 41 stolen bases, and they were both by Alfonso Soriano. 2006 with the Washington Nationals was one of those years where he did get the 40-40-40. He hit 46 home runs, stealing 41 bases and hitting 41 doubles. And what's crazy to me is that Alfonso Soriano finished that season 6th in the MVP voting, and it's kind of understandable when you look at what happened in the league and who was in front of him. Soriano put up an OPS of 911 that year. Miguel Cabrera came in 5th in the MVP voting. He hit 339, had an OPS of 998, and put up a 5.8 WAR season with the Marlins. I think it could be a little bit of a toss-up. Cabrera only hit 26 home runs that year, but I don't think you can go wrong with putting Miguel Cabrera above Alfonso Soriano right there, especially when you see that Miguel Cabrera's on base percentage was .430, basically 80 points higher than Alfonso Soriano's that year. Carlos Beltran finished ahead of both of them with a 982 OPS and an 8.2 wins above replacement. Lance Berkman finished 3rd that year with 45 homers and an OPS above 1,000. Albert Pujols finished 2nd with an 8.5 WAR season and slugged 671 with an 1102 OPS. This was back when he was still the machine in St. Louis. And then Ryan Howard won the MVP that year with 58 homers, driving in 149 runs with an OPS of 1084. So it was understandable that Soriano finished where he did on the MVP voting. And I have to say that the same thing is probably going to happen here with Jose Ramirez. I just don't think that there's any way you can put him higher than some of these guys in the American League this year. I think he's going to finish exactly 6th, which is kind of nuts. Although I am recording this before the award is given out, so let me know in the comments what happened if you're watching this after the award has been given out. I think it's safe to say the Judge is going to win the AL MVP, and I hate that I think that I have to say this, but this is a regular season award, so all of the postseason play will not be in effect. We all know what kind kind of postseason he had. I'm not a Judge hater. I wanted him to do well because I really like Aaron Judge. He's a special player, and what he did in the regular season was incredible. And I think Bobby Witt Jr. is going to finish right behind Judge. He might have put up one of the best seasons ever that won't win an MVP. I think Gunnar Henderson will finish ahead of him as well. He's probably going to land around third place, maybe fourth. I think Juan Soto is probably going to land somewhere third or fourth as well. I think Gunnar Henderson and Soto will probably flip-flop, and I think Jarren Duran's probably going to finish ahead of JRam as well. But even if he finishes sixth in MVP voting, that would be the 7th time Jose Ramirez finishes in the top 10 of MVP voting, which is just insane to me. When you take a look at his career, it's kind of amazing how long he's been around. He just turned 32 in September. He has exactly 1,500 hits. His WAR is 52.4, and he has 255 career home runs with an 856 career OPS and a 130 career OPS plus. He is signed through 2028 and showing no signs of slowing down. We are becoming very close to saying that Jose Ramirez is a shoe into the Hall of Fame. I know when you have a career of around 60 WAR is when we start talking about if they're going to be voted into the Hall of Fame. All he needs to do is have another season like this, or even just a couple more really good seasons, a couple decent seasons even. I don't think there's any way that he won't finish above 60 WAR. It would take a lot for that not to happen. And when you take a look at the active career leaders in WAR, he is just outside of the top 10. He's 12th behind Jose Altuve. He's ahead of Aaron Judge. He's ahead of Bryce Harper. And those are all guys that have been talked about being Hall of Famers. So I think he's going to end up being a shoo-in. And before his career is over, I'd love to see him win an MVP, but it's going to be very, very difficult with guys like Aaron Judge, Bobby Witt Jr., Gunnar Henderson. If Juan Soto stays in the AL, it's going to be really tough. But even if he doesn't finish his career with an MVP, he is still going to end up being Hall of Fame worthy in my opinion. And I'm looking forward to see what he does with the rest of his career.